Alright, so move on to Dark Elf turn 3. One thing I forgot to say in the last video was that when my lord killed his dragon, the shades were within 6 inches, and they failed their panic test and ran away. So what you're looking at here are the shades near the woods having rallied from their panic test. He brought his sorcerers up to get some line of sight, to cast some spells, lining his fast cav up for a flank charge of my Knights of the Realm, and charged his Blackguard unit into the flank of the Pegasus Knights. So down here you can see my lord, he's down, obviously the Pegasus is gone and he's down to 1 wound. If you look at the upper left, he charged his chariot into my Knights of the Realm and killed 3 of them. Now in that combat I had a rank, an outnumber, a banner with the war banner, a BSB with the virtue of +1 combat res. So despite those wounds I won combat, but he was able to hold, which I think is bad for me. You can see here he charged in with his Blackguard, and I declared a challenge, and my champion is the one in contact with the Blackguard, and so he accepted and immediately whiffed all his attacks. I whiffed him back, and then I was like, the Blackguard can't fight in the combat now, and he agreed that was a rule, and we both agreed that we hate that rule. So I was like, you know what, tell you what, go ahead and fight with your Blackguard in that combat. And he whiffed all his attacks. Just kind of funny. Anyway, so I charge in with my Knights Errant, and otherwise you can see what I'm doing. Trebuchet proceeds to blow itself up. My lord is gone now. With all the shooting and magic and everything, he got his last wound. And that also cost me... my BSB gets 1 less combat res because my lord is now dead. And that may have helped, may not, I don't know. This picture is a bad picture. In your mind, rotate it counterclockwise, but basically this chariot broke my Knight of the Realm BSB unit in combat and chased him down. The men-at-arms that were within 6 inches of him failed their panic test and fled left. And since that happened on my turn, he is now set up to charge my Grail Knights. So I'm really, really unhappy with how I played that. Amazingly, so I charge in there with my Knights Errant and destroy the Dark Riders. That's no surprise. He kills my champion, does another wound on a Pegasus. I obviously win combat with all that combat res, and he fails a stubborn 9. So, oh my gosh, I mean, just horribly bad luck. I've seen stubborn 9 fail before, but every time you see it, you're like, you got to be kidding me. So my Pegasus Knights run down that. So the unit I feared the most is off the table, and the noble on the chariot that I didn't really think much about has now killed a big unit of Knights of the Realm, and my BSB has 2 banners on it and is getting set up to charge my Grail Knights. So I thought that was kind of funny. Apparently I said wrong about my general being dead. He's still alive on turn 4. He's going to die this turn. His chariot charges my Grail Knights and doesn't have anything else on the table. Kills a few Grail Knights, but we hold. Otherwise, you can see here my men-at-arms, if you see them, they rallied, but I decide just to let them to face left. Oh, I take that back. This is Dark Elf turn 4, so they're still fleeing. They're going to rally on my turn. So, yes, on turn 4, my general gets his last wound taken off. Brett turn 4, the Grail Knights are still locked in combat. I'm trying to bring my Knights the Errant, 1 unit towards his crossbowmen to try to take them out, the other unit to come down and try to get my banners back from that chariot. My men-at-arms rally, but I decide they're far enough away from things, I decide just to let them go secure that table quarter. If you look in the upper left, my fast cav and that small unit of Pegasus Knights that ran down the Blackguard, I'm taking them up to the top left corner just to sit there, secure the table quarter, and keep their points. Everything he has left on the table that I would use them for, the crossbowmen and the shades, are just going to kill these guys before I get into combat, so there's no point in getting them near that danger. So on Brett turn 4, he beats, with the chariot, he beats the Grail Knights in combat, runs them down, or doesn't even chase him, he restrains. I run off the table, and he turns to face the charge that he knows is eventually going to come. So turns these guys, moves them towards my Knights Errant unit to shoot at me. Here's another look at the table. That says Dark Elf turn 5. I'm getting confused with pictures at this point. It looks like that might be Brett turn 5. So anyway, he shoots at my Knights Errant at the top middle and doesn't do anything. I'm just out of range of him, so I get to where I can make the charge next time where I feel he can't charge me. So Dark Elf turn 6. It says that. I really believe this is Brett turn 6. I think I got the photos mixed up. Basically, I charged with my Knights Errant, and his crossbowman fled, and so I'm sitting there. So on his turn, he rallied, but can't shoot me. The Shades are shooting at me, and they miss. At the bottom left, on my turn 5, I misspoke. On my turn 5, those Knights Errant charged the chariot, but just didn't do anything to it. So on turn 6, everything's as you see it. And at the end of the game, I had charged his chariot. He ended up, that thing's just nasty. Even me getting the charge, I wasn't able to put many wounds. I think I put 1 wound on it. 1 combat, he stuck, and we're just sitting there. The crossbowman on the upper right, because they fled, he didn't get points for him. So he ended up getting points. He had his sorceress remaining. She's hiding in the woods. He's got his Shades with that assassin, and he's got that noble BSB with the chariot. Everything else is dead. At the same time, though, I've lost a lot of stuff. So it's a victory for the Bretonnians, but a pretty bloody one. I was pretty happy to end it. It's kind of funny, though. When I saw his general on the dragon die, I thought I had the game wrapped up, and especially when I got so lucky with that Blackguard unit. But that noble on the chariot just really, really got points back for him. The Shades didn't do as much as I feared they might, but I still, if anybody has any advice on how to handle those guys with Bretonnians, I am open to any suggestions because I really don't know, how to counter them. So anyway, that was it. That's the first game of the tournament. So I got a victory with only, I think we have points for the victory, and then we get up to 5 scenario objective points, and I didn't do very well with those because it was a relatively close victory. So at least I had the victory today, and we move on to game 2.